I buy children's extra large clothes. Yeah, that's right! Welcome to my neighborhood, you guys. I just finished cat sitting right now, and I'm gonna go for a walk and tell you some information about how do you actually save in an expensive state like California. I've been living here for 5 years. And by the way, I'm gonna shoot this video blog in English just because I've been getting requests from all of you to turn it into English just in case you can't speak Tagalog. So here you go. I'm gonna try my best. Pero minsan magtatagalog pa rin ako, diba? Anyway, so how do you actually save in a country like America, which is so expensive? As an immigrant, I noticed here, people like to offer you loans, thinking like, oh yeah, you can afford that. Just borrow money. You can buy things. But I think that's the clincher right there, because if you actually borrow money, the interest is gonna compound. And I just don't think it's the way to live, because I don't wanna stress about paying off debt. You know, it's such an American thing. And I grew up in Asia where my parents taught me to just live within my means. So basically, like, live what you can afford and not borrow money, because technically that's not yours. So you're borrowing a life that you can't afford, right? So just to give you an example, head to toe right now, can you guess how much everything costs? Everything that I'm wearing. Okay, some tips. I buy children's extra large clothes. Yeah, that's right! You see this inner blouse right here? This is children's extra large. And if you buy it instead of buying signature adult clothes, then it's much cheaper. Even Halloween, I actually buy extra large for children's for Halloween because I'm a petite girl. So to all of you guys who are petite, you can get away with that and you save so much money. And this top right here is from Goodwill. Goodwill is a thrift store here in the US, and it's all secondhand, and this is only $5. So this is what, like, I think $10. This is $5. And the scarf right here, I made this. Yeah, I made this. So instead of buying an expensive H&M scarf, I just did it. I bought a loom. And if you're bored, especially downtime right now with the COVID, we're always on quarantine, why not make something nice for yourself and save money along the way? And you see these cutesy little Ugg boots. Well, it's not actually Uggs, it's an imitation. But I got this in Ross. Ross is like the store that sells really nice things at a very cheap price. So I'm the queen of buying stuff that is not in the mainstream department stores. I also like buying secondhand, like in Mercari, which is this app where you can download and shop for secondhand good items. Yeah, I'm not a fan of buying really expensive stuff, at least not now. Maybe someday when I become famous and I can afford to just ding, 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 ding. But for now, you gotta save, right? So that's my number one tip for like clothing. If you can make it or you can buy secondhand that's well taken care of, I think you can save tons of money. And don't borrow money. I'm telling you, I don't know, it's my Asian thing. I never got raised to borrow money unless it's an emergency. So if you've been watching my previous video blogs, you see that I live in a shoebox style apartment. It's because I can afford rent in that place. It's small, but hey, I'm living within my means. Being the librarian that I am, I'm, you know, working part-time as a library assistant and following my passion along the way. And if you're moving to different places at different locations, I would say also go for the secondhand items. There's tons of them. Craigslist is number one. That's the website I love tinkering on because they have really cool things. Of course, you just need to use your intuition to make sure that you're choosing the items that are in good condition, where you get your money's worth. And just to let you know, usually people try to mark up the price way above, so you have to learn how to haggle. It's the art of negotiation, which I've learned before when I took up communications. You got to learn how to maybe lower the price down if you could, because they would usually test you and push the envelope to a higher price. One question probably from most of you, should you live with people or should you live alone? Well, to be honest, when I was starting here in America, I was always living with people. I would rent a room, and it saves a lot because especially in San Diego where it's so ridiculously expensive, you save a lot when you're sharing an apartment. But I guess after all these years of sharing apartments and after going through a health diagnosis, I really wanted privacy. So now I'm comfortable living in a super small space, which is in my other video right here. You can just click it right here and you'll see it. But yeah, I mean, the price to pay is, yeah, I live in a smaller space, but hey, it's mine. I don't have to share it with anybody except for the kitchen, where my neighbor joins sometimes. But I prioritize privacy overall. But if you're more about saving, I suggest it's better to cohabitate with other people in the beginning until you get your bearing and you're able to afford an apartment of your own. And in terms of car, oh, yes. I became an expert buying secondhand cars. So this is Ben right here. Ben, that's the name. I name my cars, yeah. So Ben is a secondhand. I got him through a friend. And I would recommend, if you're getting a car, especially in California where driving is necessary, I think it's best to find someone you know who's selling a car. That way there's accountability. Because I learned the hard way. The first time I bought a car here, it was a convertible, a Mazda Miata convertible. And I was just being this daredevil and bought it through Craigslist. And I think eventually when I learned better, I felt like I got ripped off with that one just because I don't really know the guy selling it. And I just really liked the car, and I showed that I was so eager. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so in love with this Miata. I want to get it. And of course, the instinct is to pump up the price. And after you give the cash, baboo, that's it. Nada, you don't hear from them. So now I'm learning that the best way to buy a secondhand car is through a friend. I mean, of course, you can always go through a car salesman and all that, but of course they have added commission. It's better if you know someone who's selling off a car. That way, if you buy the car and it's shitty and there's something wrong with the engine, then you can always like ping the person who bought it and the original owner of the car. But yeah, you should resist the temptation for all those car loans, I'm telling you, because it's gonna make you want to buy a car out of loaning, out of borrowing, and it's going to compound, and you're going to spend your many months or even years trying to pay it off, which I really wouldn't recommend. You know why? When I got my diagnosis, I actually enjoyed that peace of mind that I can stop working anytime because I don't have to pay off some debt or some loan, some car loan, some whatever. You know, I'd rather have that peace knowing that, oh, if something happens, if shit hit the fan, I can actually chill and not work for a few months, especially with the pandemic that happened. See, this is the living proof. I mean, who would have known that we're all gonna stop working? I mean, not all, but most of us, right? So it's good to not live through debts. I think that's what I'm so proud about. Being Asian, that's my roots, and that's how I was brought up, to really just live within my means. So here you go. I have Ben right here, and I have my shoebox apartment that you saw in my other video. And I'm wearing secondhand clothes. I'm wearing simple clothes. And will this be my state forever? Hopefully not. I mean, of course, I would love to afford the luxuries of life, but for now, I'm happy and content knowing that if unemployment rates spike up, I can just choose to chill and be okay because I don't have to worry about loans. And I'm living life just within my means because I'm really not here trying to impress people on Instagram that I'm wearing something brand new that I can't afford or I actually borrowed. this is the reality of my life, and I'm totally fine with it. So what do you guys think of this video? Did you learn anything? If there's anything you'd like to share on how to save money living in an expensive country, wherever you are in the world, let me know. Hit me with a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts. And I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. See, I'm starting to buckle now. I want to speak Tagalog, no English for today. So anyway, yeah, and I hope you subscribe to my page. I would appreciate your following because I'm trying to achieve the YouTube star status. I don't know why it's taking forever, but anyway. Yeah, thank you for listening today, you guys. I shall see you again on the next video blog. I shall get going and I'm gonna start my day. So, me and Ben are going on a little joyride. Bye everyone. See you next week. Take care.